Okay, so this is the Rauchbier. Rauchbier means that it is a smoked beer, and I'm going to try it now. Let's see how it tastes. Not bad, not bad. It's Tuesday. We have wonderful weather. The sun is shining and we're sitting outside. And I'm trying my second Bamberg beer. Ambrosianum. That is a pun on Bräu, which is brew, and Ambrosia, which is the food of the gods. And it's the youngest brewery here in Bamberg, and I'm drinking a dark beer. It's a very tasty beer. It is very malty, has very little hops. Tastes like a good all-day beer. And as we're sitting outside, I'm allowed to smoke my pipe. Here in Franconia, which is a part of Bavaria, smoking inside in restaurants is strictly forbidden. So I have to sit outside, but that is no problem. As I said, the weather is fine. What I have in my pipe is a house mixture by the local tobacconist here in Bamberg. There's one in the inner city, and he has a very, very nice light English mixture. It has not very much Latakia in it, and I rather like it, even though I'm not an expressive fan of Latakia tobaccos. But it's nice, and it's the one I'm thinking of taking with me when I go back to Wuppertal. Near Bamberg is a town called Buttenheim. This might be interesting for the American YouTubers, because in Buttenheim a Jewish man was born whose name is Levi Strauss, and he was at least one of the pioneers of the blue jeans. So they have a Levi Strauss museum there. But I don't think I'll be visiting this museum. It's a little bit outside, and since I don't have a car, I'll be staying inside Bamberg. But a shout out to all you American pipesters. I'm thinking of you here. Okay, now I'm in the eldest brewery in Bamberg, which was established in 1533 and is still owned by the family. And here they brew a very, very dark beer, which has a very fine foam and is rather bitter. It is a little bit similar to a stout. Not quite as bitter as Guinness, but one really can taste the bitter malt, and it's not so much the hops that is the bitter in it. And it is a rather good beer. Okay, the beer here at Marsbräu is a very special beer. In the last process of the brewing of this beer, it is kept in a barrel that is not closed off, that is open at the top, so that a part of the carbon dioxide that is produced by the yeast can escape. It has very little carbon dioxide. The yeast is still in it. As you can see, it's not very clear, but it tastes really good. The beer is rather mild. It has a very fine foam on top, and it has a little bit of sourness, but it's very refreshing, and it's one of the best I've tasted here in Bamberg.
Ja, ja. Habe ich angeschaut, aber lauer wie ich halt will, ne? Aber so gut.
These are the places where the men can go and drink their beer without entering the pub. This could be, at least used to be, rather important. They could come home after work and tell their wives they hadn't gone to the pub, and still they had their beer. Nice idea. As you can see, there are a lot of breweries in Bamberg. 9 local breweries we have here, and they make lots of good beer. So I'm not going to try the beer only at the breweries, but also at home. And while I'm making our dinner for today, we're having meatballs in tomato sauce with spaghetti. I'm going to try another one. Okay, this is the Ambrosianum Hell. It is a Pilsner beer, and it promises a little bit more hops than the other ones had. Light and smooth taste, not too much hops. Very attractive taste. Great beer. Schlenkerla is one of the 2 breweries in Bamberg that make a smoked beer. And since a few years, Schlenkerla produces a smoked wheat beer, a Weissbier, or Weizen as we call it in Germany. And that is what I'm going to try this evening. Okay, in the background we are hearing The Simpsons, where Homer Simpson is just contemplating becoming a Catholic. Here's to you, Father Francis. And this smoked beer is really good. It tastes a little bit smoky, but it's not as if I'm drinking some smoked ham. The normal Schlenkerla beer is very, very smoky, and well, no, it's too much for me. But the wheat beer, that's really good. Well, the Schlenkerla smoked wheat beer is nearing its end, but I won't be drinking the rest of it because the more it gets warm and the older it gets, the more it tastes like Speck? Ham. Yeah. Sometimes I forget my English words. It's terrible. Must be the onset of old age, or perhaps it's some kind of Alzheimer. I hope it isn't. Yeah. Well, it tastes bitter now. It's only the smoke. No real taste of beer anymore. So I'm, for the first time in this week, not drinking everything, putting the rest away. On the other side of the street, directly on the other side of the Brauerei Spezial, is another brewery called Fessler. The La ending in Franconia is the diminutive, and so this is a small Fass, a small barrel. And you can also see this here outside. It shows that we have a brewery here, and now we're going to go inside and try the beer. This is take two because I somehow didn't get the video to go. We are standing outside of the pub itself, outside of the Gaststube. It's just a corridor with places on the side where you can put down your beer. As I already said, this is for the men who come home from work, want to have a beer, but don't want to have to tell their wives that they went inside. So this is where I'm going to try the beer. A dark brown beer with a fine hops taste and a rather strong sweetness from the malt that stays in the mouth. Very good. As you have seen until now, I have only tasted one beer that I didn't drink till the end. This is one that I will drink completely. This, by the way, is a beer that both my son and my daughter like, because it isn't too bitter and it has this malty sweetness. This is the kind of beer they like, so I won't give them too much of it. I'm now outside in what we call a beer garden in Germany. And as I'm outside, I'm allowed to smoke and drink my beer, which wouldn't be allowed inside at all. I'm smoking the Peter Weinig number 88. That is an English blend with a rather hefty Latakia in it. But it smokes very, very smoothly. I'm amazed how much I like it. Yeah, and I'm going to drink the rest of my beer. My children have gone away, left me alone with my pipe. And by the way, it's the leather-clad lady that I showed you in one of my earlier videos. It doesn't fill much, but it smokes very, very nicely. I've smoked my lady with the English blend, and now I'm changing to my Stanwell Sterling, which fills a little bit more tobacco than the small lady, and I'm smoking the curly flake that I've got here by McBaron's. I'll put what exactly it is somewhere up in this video, because somehow I forgot to jot it down. So I know it's by McBaron's and it's a curly, but I'm not sure what it is. Well, Bamberg, of course, has an Irish pub. Most cities in Germany have an Irish pub where you can drink draw Guinness. And having found this wonderful place to sit here at a pool with a fountain inside, I'm going to have a small Guinness just for the sake of drinking a Guinness, since I missed Guinness Day and I like it very much. And I'm smoking the pipe I just showed you. So I don't... Yeah, it's always shit when you know that doesn't come out right. Okay, start again. No, that's okay.
Ich wollte dir noch ein ordentliches zukommen lassen.
Okay, this is our last evening in Bamberg, and this is take 3 of my trying to make a video on the beer that I'm trying here. The brewery is called Greifenklau, established 1719. Everybody's looking quite exasperated that I'm still trying to do my videos. The beer they brew here is a lager, a little bit more bitter than I would expect it from a lager, but a nice beer to go with a meal. They don't brew many beers here in this brewery. They brew this lager that I'm drinking now, and they brew a Weizen, a wheat beer. That's all, and they don't sell it outside, so you don't get it in bottles, you only get it here. Our last evening here, the last beer, that's it for this time.